Hey, this is Mega here. This is the AAR, or After Action Review, for the Wednesday night drags on March 25th, 2021. So this is the first drag race of the year for Hades Omega and Sauron Levy. I no longer have my Impulse anymore, so I can't race that one anymore. Yeah, I should probably fix my turbocharged bike so I can go fast on the drag strip. But anyway, today was a kind of interesting day. The first 3 races of the year, okay, like last week, I didn't go last week, so this is actually the second race, the second Wednesday night drags race, but this is my first time this year, okay, and yeah, so I guess since the weather is so cool, they wanted to do a 1/8 mile, okay, so that's what they do when like the weather is not very nice, and we raced. Yeah, so normally it's a 1/4 mile, but they race a 1/8 mile, and a 1/8 mile is like 660 foot. Okay, is what that's half a 1/4 mile basically is what that is. So I've never raced a 1/8 mile, and you know what? The Lightning is actually better for a 1/8 mile. I found that out. So what I found out is about right when you get to the finish line, the 1/8 marker. It's pretty much at its top speed already, right? You're gonna hit your top speed, and then just before the light, you'll cross. Okay, so yeah, you hit your top speed, and then you cross the light basically. So it's perfect. Like I'm not out there like 60 miles an hour for the other half. So, and so, but you know, I can. Usually I take off before the other bikes too, so this bike will keep up with the other bikes till 60 miles an hour. It's a pretty fast little bike, okay? All right, so what happened today? All right, well, what was supposed to happen? Yeah, we were supposed to go race the 1/8 mile of the Wednesday night drags and win, hopefully. Well, I gotta tell you a little spoilers. I did not win. I lost in the first round, is what happened. All right, so. I'm gonna go over each run, and then yeah. So it's a 1/8 mile. I don't really know what to expect. It's pretty much the same thing as the 1/4 mile. You're still gonna go down the strip, as fast as you can go. But when it's that time to let off, when you see those lost timing boxes, then that's it, and you can slow down and just take it easy the rest of the way. Don't waste your energy, basically, and just take the first exit. That's for sure. So yeah, things happen a lot faster, and there's a lot less numbers on these time slips. There's no 1,000 foot, and there's no final miles per hour. There's no ET, and there's no miles per hour at the end. Okay, that's the difference between that and the 1/4 mile. So this is the first time I've done it. So let's go check it out. So I was number 277 again. Okay, so the first, I want to mention what the weather was like. The weather was great in the daytime. It was like 70s, probably more like mid 70s. It was pretty warm and nice. The reason I didn't want to come last week is because it was all cloudy and stuff. So, and then throughout the day, it just got cooler and cooler and more windy. Basically, there wasn't much of a wind in the beginning, and then it picked up later, and then it was kind of playing. By the time I was eliminated, the wind started playing all these games. Like it would blow. There would be a really big headwind, and then no headwind, and you'd have to account for that. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough when the wind is like that. It's either I want it like no wind the whole day, or just wind the whole day. Like the key is consistency in drag racing, and it's tough when the weather conditions aren't like that, and so you have to predict what your machine will do. Okay, the big challenge for this bike is aerodynamics. Okay, it's not very aerodynamic at all, and it doesn't have a whole lot of power, so it can't just punch through the wind. So the wind affects it a lot. All right, by half a second we found out today. All right. Okay, so let's go through the time slips. The first run I did a .027 reaction time. Really good. That's a really good reaction time. Not super duper good, but it's pretty damn good. And then my 60 foot was a 2.537, my 330 foot 6.713, 660 foot 10.648 at 59.43 miles an hour. So pretty much 60 miles an hour is pretty much what the top speed will be on the quarter mile every time. Okay. Now I also had the oh yeah, I didn't actually go over the what the specs or the setup on the bike was. All right. Since the last time I took it there, man, I don't remember. It was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have the chain. Okay, I had just installed the Unicycle primary drive kit, the one with the 219 chain kit, because I threw my last belt. My fender is broken. Actually, I got a brand new one today in the mail. So from UK. What else? I have the Unicycle float seat. All right, and we used the Lightspeed 72 volt 18650 pack, the smaller one. All right, that was good for the whole night. I think maybe if we were gonna keep on running, I might have put the other pack in, but it's kind of tough. Honestly, I like to keep the battery state of charge around like 90%. I feel that's where the bike feels most consistent. Is what I'm gonna say. For whatever reason, it doesn't like to run when it's like fully charged. Okay. Also, it has the fork spacer, the socket. I put a socket in there, and I use that as a preload spacer. So the front's a little bit higher now, so it makes it easier to wheelie. So that actually makes it worse for drag racing. Okay, but the first run I did really good. Okay, so basically a 10.6 with a .027 reaction time. That's really good. Okay. Also, I had it set at 16,000 watts. Okay. The power I was seeing in the stats, where we're hitting about around 12.5 kilowatt of power. Okay. So yeah, just because you put 16,000 watts in the NXT display doesn't mean you're gonna get it. Okay. You get around 12 kilowatts, which is still about triple the power of a stock Surons. Okay. All right, that was the first one. That was pretty damn good. In fact, I beat Bill to the finish line. That one. I raced Bill all night. Bill's a cool guy. He was riding their Yamaha. It was like some old Yamaha that they worked on. So second run. .039 reaction time, not bad, a little worse than before, but still good. 60 foot 2.476, 330 foot 6.635, and at the 660 foot 10.566. And when I say 660 foot, that's the 1/8 mile. Okay, the last one. At 59.53. So we actually went faster. Our reaction time was worse on that one, but our speed was pretty much the same at the end. So, yeah, for whatever reason, it went faster. I think that the wind, there must have been like a tailwind or something. Okay, so yeah, we were about, let's see, what's the other one say? The last time we ran a 10.650 almost, and then yeah, so we were about 1/10 of a second faster because of the wind. See, so the wind plays games with you. Okay, so third run, I was on the right side this time. I tried different stuff too. I generally like to stay on the left. All right, and I was choosing like there's these two tracks where the cars take off from, and so you pick either the right track or the left track. So I think on one of them, on the first and second one, I did a different one. I did it on the left track and the right track. But you know, as you see, my launches were pretty damn good. Okay. No wheel spin, no wheelies, you know, nothing, no funny stuff. All right. I did notice I had to like, there was a lot of power, dude. I had to like keep my leg dangling for a while. That's what I do to keep the front from coming up. I lay down and then I let my leg dangle out. And then when I feel like it's not going to come up anymore, I move my leg to the foot peg. That's what I do. All right. So the third run, 0.118 reaction time. Not so good anymore. We're getting worse and worse on the reaction times, Merlin. 60 foot, 2.447. 330 foot, 6.644. And then 660 foot, 10.628. And then 58.66 miles an hour. Almost 60 miles an hour. A little bit slower. So I can tell, yeah, you know, I think the wind might be starting to pick up a little bit on the third run, is what I was saying. And I think the state of charge is going down a little bit. The bike's getting a little bit slower. All right, so 10.6. So I look at the other one, and there was like cars breaking down all night long, dude. I'm pretty sure if we could have kept on going without any problems, we probably could have gotten like 4 or 5 runs, and that would have been better, you know. But yeah, the conditions did change throughout the night. Okay, so let's go over the times again. Just the 1/8 mile. So 10.566 was my first run. 10.648 was the second run, and 10.628 was third run. All right, so you figure I got 2 10.6s, a 10.5, and a 10.28. So I figure dial in a 10.6. You know, if you can do a 10.6 and not break out, then you're pretty good, Merlin. I got the 10.5. That was the very first. That was the second one. For whatever reason, I got faster. I think the wind died down on that one. So I said 10.6. We should be able to do it. Right, Merlin? All right, so here we go. We got eliminations. I'm racing against Troy, I think. Troy in the Harley. Here's what happens. I dial in 10.6, like I said, okay? And then I immediately freaking lost. I got a minus 0.029. That's a red light, okay? So that's basically Merlin jumped the gun. So immediately, once you red light, you've lost already, okay? Unless the other guy red lights, then you got to figure out who did worse, okay? But the other guy didn't, all right? Troy didn't. So I got a reaction time of minus 0. This is the first time I've ever red lighted, ever red light. I've never red lighted before, okay? So it sucks, dude. Minus, I didn't even know until I got to the booth, dude. I got a minus 0.029, so like it's like the complete opposite of my best reaction time. It's like I don't know how that happened, but all I know is when I took off, it wheelied, all right? The wheel came up, and I turned the handlebar sideways too, and then the bike came down, and then yeah, I had to let off, and that cost me a second, is what I'm gonna say. But anyway, 60 foot, 2.897, 7.379 for the 330 foot, and then the 1/8 mile, 11.510, like a full second slower than my fastest time. And then 56.56 miles per hour. All right, so we'll say I lost, okay? I red lit. There's no way I could have won that unless the other guy really, really messed up, like didn't even make it to the other end type of thing. Okay, so let's just see how consistent everything is. So in the 60s, I got a 2.4, 2.5, 2.4, and a 2.8, and that's because I did the wheelie, okay? Yeah, that was the wheelie. And then the 330 foot, I got a 6.6, 6.7, 6.6, and a 7 point. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much a second slower. So I don't know what happened. Hades Vega was doing pretty good for the first 3 runs, the practice runs, and then when it came to the actual race, the eliminations, I botched it, man. It's a freaking double whammy, man. There's no way I would have won because 1, I red lit, and 2, I wheelied, and I had like a horrible run. I dialed in a 10.6, and I ran what was it, 11.5, so almost a full second off of my dial. So yeah, the other guy would have had to have screwed up a whole lot. So So yeah, what can I say, man? That's racing, but just generally, I hate to say it, generally that's what happens to Merlin. The first couple runs he does really good, and then like my performance decreases throughout the night. Okay, and it just got really cold at the end. So that was it. Hades Mega got eliminated in the first round, and then the second round, Troy lost to Doug. Troy raced Doug. He lost to him. I think he broke out. He broke out and something happened. Oh, he like fell asleep at the tree or something. I'll have videos of that. And then it was Doug and Eric that raced. All right, and then Eric red lit by a little bit. Oh, it was a really good race. It was really close. He red lit by 0.002 seconds. Holy crap! That's almost a perfect reaction time. And Doug got a .001 reaction time, I think, or it might have been the opposite. But Doug won. Okay, Doug Love in the Triumph. Usually wins. Okay, and then the final race was Tyler and a very fast ZX10, and Doug in the Triumph. And then Tyler went to go do a burnout at the burnout box, and then he took off, and then he said the front washed out and the bike went down. That's all I remember is I shot a video of him doing the burnout, and then I went to go focus on Doug, and then I see the Ninja sliding down the drag strip. Like he didn't even make it to the light, it just went down, and then I see Tyler on his butt on the ground. So yeah, not a way you want to start a race. And then yeah, so they had to call on the ambulance and check him out to see if he's good. They had to pick the bike up and see if it was okay, and then Doug did the run. And so what wound up happening at the end was that Doug and Tyler are gonna, the very first run of for next week, they're going to race again, because next week's going to be another 1/8 mile. Okay, so they're going to race for that trophy. Okay, but, hey, both of them still come out a winner, man. They still get someone will come home with a first place trophy, and someone will come home with a second place trophy. So the race is actually undecided as of this video. Okay, so honestly, I would have just given it to Doug, because it's like, hey, you didn't show up to the race type of thing, you know, like it's almost like that, but he didn't. He crashed the bike at the starting line. I don't know what happened. You know, there might have been some water. Yeah, there might have been some water. He might have got water from the burnout box on the front tire, and then he might have braked or something, and then it went down. That's what sounds like it happened. Now that I think about it, he said like, yeah, the front washed out. Like, well, yeah, when you do a burnout, you don't do a burnout with the back. The front probably got wet, because they wet the burnout box, so you can do a burnout more easily. Okay, anyway, that's what happened. Nobody won. Nobody got first or second place. It's to be continued next week. I don't know how that works, man. I would hate to like come back next week and, all right, we're gonna go finish the race from last week. But I don't know how that works, man. Honestly, they should have just let them do it again, maybe. But they said like, no, you guys can do it next week if you want to, or Doug won, you know. It's one of those, because Doug, you know, he actually was able to perform. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, so yeah, that's the end of the first Wednesday night drags of the year for Hades Omega and the Sauron Lightbee. The Lightbee did great. It performed pretty good. Hades Omega just needs to do his part. I think that preload spacer that I put in, it's not helping. But yeah, just don't do a wheelie, Hades Omega, and you'll be fine. Dude, it was a good wheelie. It came up like it felt like it came up like a foot or something. It came up like a foot, and I turned the handlebar to the left, and then the bike went. I cut the power, the bike went down, and then I got back on it. So that cost me a second. All right, but yeah, the bike ran good, no stuttering, nothing. Plenty of power. As you can see, it's pretty consistent. 12,000 watts peak power every time. I think my jack shaft bushing is going bad again. It's making a lot of noise, the primary drive, and it sounds like it when the bearing blew out on it. it sounds like that. So I will ride it a little bit more. It's getting kind of noisy, so I think it's good time to change the bearings in my other jack shaft that got busted, and then replace this one. I'm going through these freaking jack shaft bearings like freaking crazy, okay? But I'm telling you, I ride this bike a whole lot. I use it for DoorDash, I use it for dirt biking, and you know, all this other crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm putting it through a lot of use, but these bearings, man, they're horrible. So I got to make sure and get a good bearing. But it didn't stop me from going down the drag strip. So I think it's okay. It's not like, it's still mission capable is what I want to say. It's not, I wouldn't say it's fully mission capable, but it's still mission capable. You can still ride it. So I will continue to ride it until, I don't know, until it gets even louder. The primary drive chain, it was really tight when I first put it on. Then when I went to go look at it the other night, it was kind of loose, so I tightened it, and then now the noise, it makes an even louder noise. So yeah, I didn't make that when I first put it on. So I think because the chain was so tight, it messed up the bearing. So this freaking jack shaft bearings, they're so fragile, man. I'm telling you. I wish they'd put like a stronger bearing or something. I don't know, man. It's kind of pissing me off. Is there always something wrong with the drivetrain on this bike, man? Always something wrong with it. Okay, yeah, but other than that, the bike ran great. Okay, all right. So thanks for watching. That's the AAR for Wednesday Night Drag, March 25th, 2021. Thanks for watching. Here's my out. Hopefully we'll do better next week. I will do the 1/8 mile. Again, I like the 1/8 mile for Suron.